Hello, I'm Joyce Fields, and thanks for joining my live. Either you're here live or you're watching the replay. I'm just learning how to do these YouTube lives. I'm a veteran of TikTok lives. I've done over 500 TikTok lives. I love doing these lives. My name is Joyce Fields. I'm 81 years old, and now I do YouTube lives Monday through Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific time. And I usually go until around 5:30, 5:35 or so. I did my last YouTube live on Friday, August 29th, just last month. And I did my first YouTube live that following Monday on September 1st. And so this is only my 16th YouTube live, and I'm still getting accustomed to the rules and stuff on YouTube. I don't really know them. I've done over 500 uh, TikTok lives. I love doing these lives. Is that you, Shells? Um, it doesn't tell me who's coming on, so I don't see. I don't know if it does, but it starts moving when people do come on, so. Right now, YouTube is telling me that I have two people on here watching my live. Shells, are you one of them? The Shellster? Are you one of them? And if not, would you let me know how you learned that I was doing this live? Did you get a message? Or were you just scrolling through YouTube? Will you please let me know how you found out that I was doing this live? If you got a message or if you were just scrolling. It says I have two people on here, so I would hope that one of you would respond. My screen isn't moving, so, but the timer is still going, and I don't know if either of you, oh, so now it says I have 13 people on here. Man, I'm telling you, this is this is really a trip. I'm 81 years old, y'all, and let me tell y'all, this high-tech stuff, I don't know about this. There are many days when I would love to just return to the days of the manual typewriter, because I ain't so confident in all this technology. It messes up too much. Everybody complaining about their phones, their smartphones. Oh man, don't get me started. So now, thank y'all for joining my live. And I would like to know how you found out that I was doing my live. Did you come over from TikTok? I've done over 500 TikTok lives, so did you come over from TikTok? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't tolerate trolls. You will be removed or put in timeout. So if you have any intentions of trolling me, I do not tolerate that. I only want people on my live who are serious about changing. Oh, good. I didn't know you were there, Chelsea. I don't know when you're coming. I don't know when you come on until you do a comment. So I don't know. Oh, I can take care of myself. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. I feel sorry for if you are here on my live and you intend to. That's a new word for me, y'all. Troll. I'm 81 years old. That is not a word that we used. So if you intend to troll me, it doesn't bother me, but it reflects on you. It shows your level of maturity and stupidity. So I feel sorry for trolls because they live a very sad existence. It is a sad existence to want to deliberately insult or be cruel to anybody. It's a sad existence. So I feel sorry for them. And the stuff that they do does not bother me. And I'm telling y'all right now, if you intend to do that, it doesn't bother me. It reflects on you. So enough of that. So now, yeah, they have a miserable life. That's really sad. They should be able to do something about it. So they can. So now here's another one. I thought YouTube is full of them. YouTube has a whole lot more. Y'all call them trolls than TikTok does, but YouTube I learned is much bigger than TikTok. So now I share advice that will help y'all to undifficult your life. I'm 81 years old. I live the advice that I share. I know that it works. I'm always too blessed to be stressed. Now, that's nice that I have to share the advice that I would like to share. Now, I live the advice that I share with y'all. I know that it works. I'm 81 years old. I have lived this advice since I was about 10 years old. So I know that it works. And if it works for me, it can work for y'all. So now I share 4 pillars of advice. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I tell y'all how you do that. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. I tell you, if you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you increase your own level of patience. But I always start with the toddlers. So if you are raising toddlers, you will want to hear how easy it is to teach them patience. And then pillar number 3 is stay calm. Stay calm, y'all. There is so much power in your ability to stay calm. You lose your power when you become angry. So you lose your power. And throughout my lives, I do what I call helpful hand visuals. The helpful hand visuals are given to me by Spirit. Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals. And I just did them this year, starting, and then one of my viewers on one of my lives, she said, quote, her name's Jessie Knott, okay. And she said, quote, these visuals are so helpful, unquote. She was referring to, I do these gestures with my hands, excuse me, and they help me, along with the words coming out of my mouth, these visuals, these helpful hand visuals, they help me to communicate concepts, philosophies, examples, and all of that. This is one of my gifts, y'all, from God, the universe, whatever you call your higher power. It's one of my gifts. And I've been given this skill to communicate philosophies, concepts, ideas, and all of that from my mind to y'all's mind, okay? So I know some of y'all will say, well, I don't know if I believe that, but stay tuned and you will see it for yourself. I do the helpful hand visuals throughout my lives and throughout the 4 pillars. So pillar number 3, when I get to that pillar, I did the helpful hand visual for that one and it blew the viewers' minds. I did it for my man and it blew his mind, and it blows my mind too. Like I told y'all, these helpful hand visuals are given to me by the Spirit. I can't explain it any other way. And so that's pillar number 3, stay calm. You must stay calm. You lose your power when you become angry. Then pillar number 4, there are only 4 pillars, y'all. The last one, pillar number 4, is to remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, or whatever. And I will tell you what those 4 words are when I get to that 4th pillar. Now, back to pillar number 1. And I used to call these pieces of advice. And the title of my lives, all the lives that I do are entitled Undifficult Your Life. And that is what the advice that I share with y'all will help you to do, will undifficult your life. A lot of y'all are making choices and decisions that make your lives a lot more difficult than they need to be. And I'm going to share some advice with y'all. I live it. I know that it works. If it works for me, it can work for just about everybody. Won't work for 100%, but it will work for at least 80%. And I'll explain that as I get more into my lives. So now, I was telling y'all about how when I did the helpful hand visual, it blew my man's mind. And my man and I have been together for 68 years. You heard that correctly. We have been together for 68 years. We've been married for 58 years. We just celebrated our 58th wedding anniversary this past June 3rd. And so now I do not do religion on my live. I do not do politics. So don't come through with this Jesus stuff, and don't come through with this Donald Trump stuff. You will be removed if you come up with that. So sometimes my moderators will put you in timeout to give you a chance to come back around without that stuff, okay? So no religion, no politics. Thank you very much. So now I was just telling y'all about me and my man. His name is Pap, P-A-P. His real name is Fred. So we have been together since we were 13 years old. And I'm going to show you a picture. This is, we were 25 years old in 1969. This is us. This is me and Pap, 1969. Yeah. Now, this next picture is our 57th wedding anniversary. We were both 80 years old. Here you go. We're both 80 years old on this one. Okay. Now, here you go. Look. I love showing both of them. 25 and 80. 25 and 80. Okay, so now, he is the person who told me to start saying pillars instead of pieces of advice. Yeah, Angela. Yeah, it blows my mind too, y'all. I do not take it lightly. It blows my mind that I have been with him for 68 years, since I was 13 years old. And he was 13 years old too. So, but people always ask me, one of the secrets is patience. You know, patience and not trying to change a person, you know, so you got to accept. You got to, hopefully you'll do things and say things that will cause them to want to change. You can't change them. And I'll get into that a little bit more too. So now, back to pillar number 1. That is develop and maintain a positive attitude. Develop and maintain a positive attitude, y'all. Now, you probably never even thought about this, what I'm getting ready to say right now. There are only 2 attitudes that you can have, a negative attitude or a positive attitude. You ever think about that? Probably not, for the most part. Most people don't think about the fact that you can only have 2 attitudes. You can only have one of 2 attitudes. You see? A negative attitude or a positive attitude. And I'm convinced that you do not choose to have a negative attitude. Here's what happens. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, and a positive attitude is a choice that you make at any point in your life, you have to make the choice to have a positive attitude. So if you don't choose to have a positive attitude, and you have to deliberately choose to have a positive attitude, you have to on purpose choose to have a positive attitude, consciously, all of those good things. You have to choose to have a positive attitude. A positive attitude requires energy, but it's fun energy. It requires effort, but it's fun effort. A positive attitude is like a plug that you're holding in your hand, and you plug it into your spirit. You plug it into your soul, and it electrifies you. You understand? It totally electrifies you when you choose to have a positive attitude. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, you almost certainly will have a negative attitude or lean more towards the negative. You understand? So you have to deliberately choose to have a positive attitude. And the way that you do that is you write a program. You write a program. And the way that you write a program is you say it out loud. Say it out loud. And here's what you say. Words to this effect. You can rewrite it any kind of way you want to, but I'm going to give you the blueprint. Here is what you say. This is the program. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I'm going to repeat that. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And put your feet on the path to have a positive attitude. That's when you say that out loud, and you say it out loud. A lot of people will say you say it in your mind, but that is only one element that you're using. You know, one element, you're saying it in your mind. When I say you say it out loud, because you are using three elements. You're speaking it out of your mouth. You are hearing what you say with your ears, and it gets plastered into your psyche. You understand? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So say it out loud. I'm telling you, I got to fix my phone stand, y'all. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Say it out loud. One element when you say it in your mind. When you say it like Joyce Fields is advising you, it's three elements you're employing. You speak it out of your mouth, you hear it with your ears, and it gets plastered into your psyche. So when you say this out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. What the program says is from now on. That just means from this point. Doesn't mean, I don't care what your attitude was 5 minutes ago or what your attitude was yesterday or last week. You have a choice. From now on, that means tell everybody, I don't care. From now on, I don't care what I was like in the past. From now on, from this point forward, I'm going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now I'm going to do my first helpful hand visual for y'all. This is, Spirit gives me all of my helpful hand visuals. So now, on the count of 3, I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. You understand? I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. 1, 2, 3. You see this? Negative attitude, y'all. These are the kind of people that say, my life sucks. Woe is me. Thanks for the likes. I hope y'all share it too. Woe is me. I can't stand this. I can't stand that. Complain, complain, complain. Now, in the meantime, what my hands are doing is a helpful hand visual. This is showing y'all that positive elements are constantly flying through the universe. Constantly, y'all. Always and forever flying through the universe. But they always fly over the heads of people who have a negative attitude. You see? Now, when you write that program and say it out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you what happens. Okay? 1, 2, 3. You see this? That's what happens. Now, you see what happened? What was flying over your head because you had that negative attitude is now making contact with your psyche. You see that? Now, did I communicate that helpful hand visual to you to the point where you understood what I was saying? Ah, wonderful. Thanks, Corey. Come on, give me some responses, y'all. YouTube is saying that I have 87 people on here, so give me some responses. Did I communicate that effectively from my mind to y'all's mind? Ah, good. Oh, thank you. Okay. So don't have a negative attitude. It really doesn't pay. A negative attitude has no useful purpose. Can you think of anything positive, anything good that came from a negative attitude? So I sure can't. So don't have a negative attitude. And I'm going to read y'all a list of words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude. And I'm also going to read y'all a list of words that will guide you on the path to developing and maintaining your positive attitude. Now, here are the words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude, and it might be you. You may not even know it. That's what I was saying. A lot of y'all have negative attitudes and you don't know that you have negative attitudes. Now, these are words that describe personality traits or characteristics. So, like I'm telling y'all, a positive attitude is a choice. Now, if any of these words describe your personality or your characteristics, you can choose to change it. That's all you need to do. So here are the words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude, and it might be you. Anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment and holding grudges, inferiority, lies and dishonesty, false pride, superiority, ego. Back up to the top. The very first word is anger. Do you know people who are angry, who are full of anger? Are you the one who is full of anger, who is angry? Thank you. That is negative. How about resentment and holding grudges? Do you know people who are full of resentment? People who hold grudges? Are you the one who is full of resentment, who holds grudges against others? That is negative. So now, I'm going to come back to resentment and holding grudges. Down to lies and dishonesty. Do you know people who lie? People who are dishonest? Thank you, Pearl. Are you the one who is the liar? Are you the one who is dishonest? That is negative too. Back up to resentment and holding grudges. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you probably, thanks, Pearl, you probably never heard before, and that is this. If you are full of resentment and if you hold grudges against other people, you are living in the past. That is correct. You are living in the past because you are holding on to something that happened. Past tense, it happened. There is nothing the people can do about it to change it. There is nothing that you can do about it to change it. Thank y'all. So you must forgive them. You must forgive them because, you see, people are really badly mistaken when they think that by holding resentment against these people or holding grudges against them, all of that stuff, they're punishing them. No, you're not punishing anybody but yourself. You understand? Those are the things, what I call them the uglies. Anger, resentment, holding grudges, lying, arrogance. All of those things are what I call the uglies. And the uglies damage the person that holds on to them. You understand? That makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? The person or the people that you're holding the grudges against or holding the resentment towards, they're not holding on to that. Well, they may be holding on to that ugly stuff, but it may not involve you or include you. There may be a whole nother different reason why they're holding on. But anytime anybody holds on to these ugly things, they damage you. What they are doing is taking a toll on you. I call it an invisible internal burden on your cells, on your blood, on your organs, on your muscle, on your whole being, you see? Now, people who hold on to resentment and hold grudges against other people, they typically, not everybody, they typically are on a lot of pharmaceutical medications, or some at least. They are not aging well. They look older than they are. Because when you hold on to this ugly stuff, it does a number on you inside, and that comes out on the outside. You see? So stop with the grudges. Stop with the resentment, because it's only damaging you. I told you, when you hold on to the uglies do a number on you, not the people that you're holding the resentment against and all that stuff. So please don't do that to yourself. Now, you must forgive them. You must forgive them. And I don't care who it was or what they did or said. You must forgive them. Now, the Shelster said that I do not read these long paragraph comments, y'all. I don't have time. You think about that. If I was to read every last one of that, y'all have write these comments that are like 3 or more sentences, I don't have time to read them. I don't even look at them. Okay? 1 or 2 sentences, yeah, that's fine. And I can't see all of them. I have 90 minutes to share 4 pillars of advice with y'all that is going to help y'all to undifficult your life, that is going to help y'all to change your attitudes towards living this life. I'm 81 years old. What I share with y'all, with the advice that I share, I know that it works. I've been using it since I was about 10 years old. That's a long time. So please stop with the comments that are like 3 or more sentences. Paragraphs, I don't have time to read them. I hardly have enough time in the 90 minutes to share the advice that I want to share with y'all. So please just sit back, relax, and listen to the advice. Now, some people will say, this is what I needed to hear. That's fine. And if I see it, that's wonderful. It warms my heart to see these comments. But I'm looking up here, y'all. My comments are down here. I do not lower my eyes. Every once in a while, I'll lower my eyes to see the comments. But when y'all type in, don't waste your time typing in 3 or more paragraphs, 3 or more sentences. I do not have time to read them. I love the fact that y'all are liking what I'm doing, and I want to share this advice with a whole lot more people. So I'd like for y'all to share the live. And so don't type in a whole long conversation. I don't have time for that. And I hope y'all understand that. I hardly have time to share the advice. So now, where was I? I was talking about, it's always about positive attitude. You say this program out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Now, where I was, I remember now, I was on resentment and holding grudges. You must forgive. When you are holding on to resentment or holding grudges against other people, you have to forgive them for your sake. You understand? It is for your sake. Now, to forgive them doesn't mean you go back into their lives or they come back into yours. But that's a beautiful thing if that does happen. But now, if people will tell you to forgive and forget, Hell no. Hell no. You don't ever forget. Never, ever forget. You keep it on the stove, on the back burner, but you never, ever forget. But you do forgive. You must forgive in order to go on and live your life in a positive, healthy manner. Positive attitude is the only way to go. So, and you must forgive whomever it was and whatever they did. You must forgive them. And I'm going to give you 4 examples of what has happened on my lives that I hope it will give you some encouragement and will cause you to forgive. You know, don't carry that stuff around. I just told y'all, don't be typing all these long comments. So now, here's the way you forgive. I'm 81 years old. There was no such thing as a text message when I was a kid. There was no emails or video calls, none of that kind of stuff. So now, these technologies are here now, and y'all can forgive any kind of way. Text message, video call, whatever. But if you do not want, I know, I saw that, Shells. But now and to give people, in defense of them, sometimes they just came on and they didn't hear what I said, you know, so I do understand that too. So, okay. So now here's the way you can forgive by saying it out loud to the universe. Let me tell you something now. Think about this, y'all. The universe was there, or whatever you call God or your higher power, whatever you call it. And if you're an atheist, you don't need to hear what I have to say, okay? So now, it was there when the mess happened to you. You understand that? The universe or God or whatever you call your higher power, it was there when the mess happened to you. It knows. So if you don't want to have anything to do with the people who did that to you or whatever, you can say it out loud to the universe. And all your programs, you say them out loud. And I'm going to give you another one, an example that can show you how you can change any behavior that you have. But now, back to the forgiving. You say it out loud to the universe. And this is, now, okay, I ask this question every live that I do now. I almost forgot that I want to ask you this question too. The universe, I told you already, the universe was there when the mess happened to you. The universe knows what happened, okay? So now, when I say this in all of my lives, and I say it in every one that I do, it kind of shocks people into remembering or into knowing that the universe or God or whatever you call your higher power was there when the mess happened to you. It knows what happened to you. So here's the question. When I said that, now the universe knows, okay, the universe or God or whatever you call your higher power sees everything that you do, hears everything that you say. I'm going to tell you how, and reads your thoughts. I'm going to repeat that. This shakes a lot of people up when I do my lives. The universe sees everything you do, or God, or whatever, however you call your higher power, hears everything that you say and reads your thoughts right now. Sees everything you do right now, hears everything you say right now, reads your thoughts right now. Now, here's this question that I ask every live that I do. My saying that, will that cause you to think about changing what you do, what you say, and what you think? Well, my saying that, bringing that to your forefront of your consciousness, will you start thinking about what you do, say, and think? Come on, give me some responses, y'all. YouTube says I have 87 people on here, so come on, give me some responses. Well, when I just said that, will that cause you to think about what you're going to say, do, and think? Oh, good. I'm telling you right, I get so many jazzos. I get so many yeses when I ask that question. Thank you for your response. Come on, give me some more responses. Thanks, Jazzo. Ah, good, Kira. Wonderful. I don't question God. Yeah, wonderful. Good. Ah, you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. That's right. So think about it. Before you say it, think about it. Before you do it, think about it. Before you think it, think about it. But see, you shouldn't act on your thoughts, your ugly thoughts, okay? Yeah, but if you live consciously, then that's fine. that's I don't even know if you live consciously, I don't even know if it benefits you to be on my live. So if you live consciously, so maybe I'm going to say something that'll help you too. Okay. So now, I was talking about you must. Oh, I'm give you the 4 examples. See, most of the time, now I'm 81 years old, and I sniff rosemary all day long. I got a jar of dried rosemary, and it's supposed to be good for your memory. You see, so I sniff it all day long right there in my kitchen, and so, and it's probably working because I can rewind and go back to where I was. So I'm still remembering where I was. I was going to tell y'all about the 4 examples that I have. Yeah. So, oh, that's good. Okay. So here are the 4 examples. The people who, oh, I haven't done it yet. See, I remember that too. I just asked y'all if what I just said, as far as the higher power or God or whatever you call it, sees everything you do, hears everything you say, and reads your thoughts. And I ask y'all if that will cause you to rethink what you're going to do, say, and think. So I remember that. So now I was telling y'all that the universe is there. Everything that you did, or whenever those people did that to you, it was there. The universe was there. So here is the way you say it out loud to the universe. Here's what you say. Universe, I forgive so and so for doing such and such to me. Yes. I'm going to repeat it. Universe, I forgive so and so for doing such and such to me. Use your hand as well. Now, what that symbolizes is you are touching the universe. You are touching spirit. That symbolizes that. So, I have 4 examples for you. Example number 1, not examples, because these are actually testimonials that people had on my lives when they said, here's the first one. She said, I forgave my dad that way. Oh, thank you, Van Hughes. I appreciate that. I forgave my dad that way. And I immediately burst into tears. I forgave my dad that way, and I immediately burst into tears. The second young lady said, I forgave myself. And yes, you can forgive yourself that way as well. And I immediately burst into tears. The third one was a young man. And he said, I forgave. And I felt my spirit shift. That is for real, y'all. And I'm going to save the 4th example. I'm going to tell y'all why they burst into tears. The 2 young ladies burst into tears when they forgave, and the young man felt his spirit shift when he forgave. If y'all have been on here for a while, y'all will remember I said, when you hold on to resentment and hold grudges against other people, you are creating an invisible internal burden on your spirit, on your soul, and it mails itself into your body. And so when the 2 young ladies and a young man, the 2 young ladies that burst into tears and the young man that felt his spirit shift, they had what the Shelster calls the pressure release valve explosion. Okay? So when you forgive, this is what happens, because you create a lot of pressure within your body. And here's what happens. It goes, psst. You see? It just vanishes. That's why they burst into tears. That's why he felt his spirit shift. Now, the fourth example is a young lady by the name of Patricia. And Patricia had been holding a grudge against her mother for over 40 years. You heard that correctly. She had been holding a grudge against her mother for over 40 years. She was watching my lives, and she forgave her mother. She forgave her mother. And that's like 40 years worth of Mother's Days that they didn't spend together, all of that kind of stuff, you know. So she forgave her mother. And this past Mother's Day, they spent it together. She came up as a guest on my live. I was doing my TikTok lives when this is only my, 16th YouTube live. I'm a veteran of TikTok lives. I've done over 500 TikTok lives. Go over to TikTok. Check out, my username is the letter J, Fields, Fields, and the number 7. Check out my TikTok lives. My moderators would send me comments and compliments about what people were saying about my lives, and they would send me screenshots of the comments, and I posted them. So I have a whole lot of positive content on TikTok, y'all. A whole lot of helpful stuff that's going to help you, stuff that you can use. I tell you how you keep your popcorn fresh, all kinds of good stuff. So, and on TikTok, I have close to 54,000 followers. So I'm not going to abandon them. I'm going to continue to post on TikTok, but I'll do my lives here on YouTube. So now, that's the fourth. Oh, I was going to tell y'all that Patricia came up as a guest because she shared what she and her mother had gotten together and all of that. It just absolutely warmed my heart. So, oh, thanks, man. So it warmed my heart. And I got full. I didn't boo-hoo, but I got full. So to think that the advice that I share did that for somebody, it made a difference in their lives. So that's what I love that. So when I get 1,000 subscribers, y'all, and subscribing is free here on YouTube. You had to pay to subscribe on TikTok. So subscribing is free on YouTube. So I have, what do I have now? Hold on, y'all. Excuse me. I have 882 subscribers, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers to have guests come up. Yeah, so not all of them, not all of the young people. So a lot of them are here on my lives, and they listen. So yeah, it does feel wonderful. So where was I? See, I gotta. I told you about the number of subscribers that I have to have. So I'm working on 1,000. So I'm almost there. So now, let me think here. Where do I want to go next? I told you about resentment and holding grudges. That's the way you can say it to the universe. The universe, you can forgive. You know, the universe knows what you did as well. So say it out loud to the universe. I forgive myself. You know. So now, a positive attitude and a negative attitude. I coined this quote many lives ago on TikTok, and it still goes for over here. So on YouTube. The quote shows y'all the difference between developing and maintaining a negative attitude and developing and maintaining a positive attitude. So here is the quote. If you develop and maintain a negative attitude, you will increase your chances for suffering consequences. Whereas if you develop and maintain a positive attitude, you will increase your chances for receiving rewards. Which do you prefer? You see? Yeah, so. Oh, Chelsea, I'm very proud to be a grandma. I got 8 grandkids. Yeah. Yeah, so. And 4 great grands and 1 great great grand. So, but I'm very proud to be a grandma. So, now, where was I? I'm always talking about a positive attitude versus, oh, I told you about the quote. See? I'm 81, but I ain't lost my mind yet, and I hope that I never do. Like I told y'all, I sniff rosemary all day long. So now, here is a negative attitude, y'all. Here is a positive attitude. Oh, I told y'all I was going to read y'all a list of words that will guide you on your path to gain a positive attitude. You got to get one, okay? So here are the words that will help to guide you: joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth and honesty, compassion, faith. Yes. So, those are the words that will guide you. Now, when you say this program out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. That's all you got to do. Say those words out loud and mean them, because a positive attitude is a choice. You make that choice by writing that program and saying it out loud. It doesn't matter who's around you, because it gives you a chance to spread positivity. You see? It gives you a chance to spread positivity. Say it out loud, and here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And mean it. From now on, that means doesn't matter what your attitude was like 5 minutes ago. Okay? Now, here's what a negative attitude looks like. Negative attitude, y'all. Along comes spirit, and along comes inner peace. Look, they cannot get through. So they turn and go away. Here's a positive attitude. Thanks, Carrie. Positive attitude. Along comes peace, inner peace. Along comes spirit. You can see what's going to happen. You see, it gets through. They get through. And not only do they get through, but they turn and then encase your entire body, your spirit, all of that, okay? That is what happens. But you have to have a positive attitude in order for inner peace to come to you. You have to have a positive attitude in order for spirit to come to you. Imagine you, this is you, as inner peace, as spirit, and you're just flitting around, Would you land on a person who has a negative attitude? Negative attitude repels inner peace. A negative attitude repels spirit. You must have a positive attitude, and it's very easy to get it. Write the program, y'all, and work on developing it. It's a lifelong process, but it is a fun process. It electrifies you. You're very welcome, Isaac. You're very welcome. It electrifies you. It pulls you into being a part of your own life. Okay? So now I'm going to give you some more food for thought. You can, Well, okay, I've got a lot of points to make with y'all. Nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time, and nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. Share the live, y'all, because I would love to be able to share this advice that I'm sharing with y'all with a whole lot more people. Just share the live, y'all. So nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time, and nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. You live your life by a ratio. I'm going to repeat that. And a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you know, or did you know? Now, I only want no responses. I don't want any yeses. If you already know about this, just sit back and smile, knowing that you already know. If you've been on my lives, you already know. Now, did you know, or do you know, that you live your life by a ratio? I want to hear you if you, come on, give me some responses. I only want no responses, and you're gonna love when I explain what this ratio is. Thanks, Carrie, I appreciate it. Thanks, Lisa or Liza. Come on. Good. All right, that's 3 no's. Okay, wonderful. Excuse me. I want to get some water here. I'm going to tell you what a ratio is. I'm going to tell you how you use it, and I'll be right back. Excuse me. Now, a ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely help you to better control your life. I'm going to repeat that. A ratio is a very simple tool. I have fresh squeezed lemon juice in my water. A very simple tool that will help you to better control your life. You control your ratio. Only you control it. Only you can adjust it. If you set it too high, you can lower it. If you set it too low, you can raise it. But you and you alone control your ratio. So now, there are no exceptions. If there's a will, there's a way. No exceptions. So my ratio is 80-20. You see? My ratio is 80-20. That means 80% of the time, I am very happy being in the positive attitude mode. And 20% of the time, I can be, you notice I did not say I was happy, being in the negative attitude mode. You see? So now back over to the positive attitude mode. That means that, people in my lives have, and you choose whatever your ratio is. I choose 80-20, and I don't own it. Anybody can use 80-20 or choose it, whatever. People in my lives have chosen 75-25. They have chosen 80-20 as well. They've chosen 60-40, and one person chose 50-50. One guy chose 50-50. I said, that's not good enough for me, but that's me. So that means that half the time you're positive and half the time you're negative. No, I don't settle for that. So whatever floats your boat. So choose your, and I don't read paragraphs, y'all. The comments that are 3 or more sentences, I'm not reading them. So stop with the paragraphs, y'all. And see, Shelster, a lot of people have come on that are new, I guess, so they haven't heard that. So I do not read paragraphs. 3 or more sentences, I don't have time to read them, y'all. So don't even bother putting them in, okay? I read 1 or 2 sentences. Sometimes, because I'm looking up here, I'm looking above the comments, and I look down every once in a while. So now, back to my ratio, 80-20. That means that 80% of the time, I honor the programs that I write. 80% of the time, I do what is kind, what is fair, what is right, what is just, what is considerate, what is honest, all of those things, 80% of the time. Now, over to that negative portion. I don't care what your portion is that you assign to your negative mode, it can never include physical abuse. You cannot go around hitting people. You cannot go around throwing things. And if you're doing that, if you're trying to get a positive attitude, that ain't gonna work. It cannot include verbal abuse. You cannot cuss people out. You cannot insult people. If you're trying to get a positive attitude, that ain't gonna work either. And one of my viewers, her username is Midnight, she asked me to include tone of voice. Tone of voice. So it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. So you cannot say anything in an ugly tone of voice to anybody. You see? So as long as the negative mode as long as your negative mode does not include any of those three things, no physical abuse, no verbal abuse, and no ugly tone of voice. So you're okay. You see? Now I'm going to show y'all how you can change your behavior by writing a program. Any behavior that you have, you can change it, but you cannot change other people's behaviors. You understand that? That's a part of what's wrong with this world right now, and especially with relationships. Somebody is trying to change the other person's behavior. You cannot do that. That's why you're running into a brick wall, because you can't change other people's behavior. Not only that, but think about this. When you are laying it out for somebody to change their behavior, they're probably looking at you and thinking, how come you don't change yours? You understand? So that is what we all need to be doing, y'all. We all need to be working on improving our own behavior. That's the only behavior that we can improve, we can change. That's the only one. So here is what you do. When you want to change any behavior that you have, you write a program. Now I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to present y'all with an example of a behavior that I don't have and the program that I write to overcome the behavior that I don't have. Okay, y'all understand. All right, now, here's the behavior. I eat 12 cookies every day. I don't. I do not want to eat 12 cookies every day. Here is the program that I write. I eat 12 cookies every day. I do not want to eat 12 cookies every day. Starting tomorrow, I will eat 10 cookies. Tomorrow comes and you eat 10 cookies. The next days, weeks, months go by and you're still eating 10 cookies. Now, using my ratio of 80-20, and if you chose 80-20, you can use it too, 80-20. That means, oh, thank you, Kira. That means that 80% of the time, I will eat 10 cookies. 20% of the time, that's my wiggle room. 20% of the time, I can go back up to 11. I can even go back up to 12. But you see, I'm going to tell you right now, when you start going into that negative part, that 11 and 12 or whatever your behavior is that you want to change. So then it'll make you feel kind of funny, because most of the time you're going to honor the programs that you write. You see, that is how your ratio will help you to better control your life. Yes, you definitely. It's a process. It's a lifelong process to develop and maintain. You see, to maintain a positive attitude is a lifelong process, but it electrifies you into boosting yourself into your own life. You see, it's a lifelong process. It's not something that you start and then stop. You know, once you become positive, you will thirst for positivity. You will reject negativity. You see, it's just that simple. So now, from now on, if a person says something negative to you, don't say something negative back to them, because then you are adding to the already high level of negativity. So what you do is this. I'm going to give you an example. If somebody says something negative to you, do not attack them and do not attack what they said. Instead, just simply state how it impacts you. Just say, when they say something negative, you just say, "Ooh, I don't like the way that makes me feel," or "I don't like the way what that makes me think about." I'm working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I reject that. You say, you didn't reject them. You didn't reject whatever. You rejected that because it impacted you in a negative way. You see? So when somebody says something negative to you, don't say something negative back to them. Just say how it impacts you. It's just that simple. Okay? Now, Spirit came to me in the month of June and told me that there's such a thing as outer peace. I said, huh? Yeah. I really did. I said, what? I never heard of outer peace. Thanks, Carrie. I never heard of outer peace. Yeah. So, no, don't do that. You're really damaging your own spirit. Don't do that to yourself. Yeah. So I never heard of outer peace. But Spirit told me there is such a thing as outer peace. Inner peace, yeah, I'm very familiar with. I have that. I have a very positive attitude. And I have inner peace. When you have a positive attitude, inner peace comes to you and it gets tacked into, or sewn into, or stitched into, whatever you want to call it. It is a part of your whole being when you have a positive attitude. Inner peace can never, now this is what Spirit said to me. Inner peace can never be destroyed. Inner peace can never be disturbed. Outer peace can be disturbed. Outer peace can be destroyed. Spirit explained what outer peace is. Now, outer peace is when you are trying to sleep or study, and I always use these examples, and somebody is making noises. That is disturbing your peace. So there's even a law on the books. You can call the cops on people for disturbing the peace. That is your outer peace. Your inner peace, you must have a positive attitude. It cannot be disturbed. It cannot be destroyed. But you must have a positive attitude in order to get it. So now, if anybody in your family, and it's usually somebody in your family, is disturbing your peace, that's your outer peace, by what they're saying or doing, and it could be your mama. Nobody should be allowed to disturb your peace. That includes your mama. So here is what I suggest. Here's the way I suggest you handle that. You tell them, I love you dearly, but when you do such and such, or when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Now, you got to remember now, they are not obligated to change their behavior. But you are obligated to tell them that what they are doing or saying is disturbing your peace, and you cannot cuss them out. You must be kind, you must be diplomatic, you must be all that nice stuff. So when you're mean and ugly, it goes against you. It creates problems in your own soul, in your own spirit. When you are mean and ugly and nasty to people, that doesn't work. So but you must tell them that they are disturbing your peace. Like I told you, they're not obligated to change, but you give them enough time to change their behavior if they are going to change it. And if they don't, you have to come back to them and say words to this effect. I told y'all, I love y'all dearly, but when y'all do such and such, or when y'all say such and such, that disturbs my peace. And y'all are still doing it. Y'all are still saying it. And that leaves me no choice. I must protect my peace. And I give y'all 3 options. Option 1, I have to feed y'all with a long-handled spoon. Option 2, I have to love y'all from a distance. Or option 3, I have to stop coming around y'all. That's simple. You were honest with them, and you told them, and they didn't stop. So you can choose one of those 3. Now, if it's your mama that's disturbing your peace, here's your mama disturbing your peace. Here you are coming in getting your peace disturbed. Now, remind you, people, all of these things I'm saying to you are after you write the program that says, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I'm going to screenshot that. Yeah. So I had to straighten out my phone. Sorry about that, y'all. So now, this is after you have made that commitment, to written that program. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. So now here's your mama disturbing your peace. And here you are getting your peace disturbed. And you tell your mama, Mama, I love you dearly. But when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. When you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. You see? Now, some mamas would say, what peace? Or some mamas would say, you ain't got no peace. Okay? So, but when you wrote that program, when you said, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude, share the live, y'all. You raised your vibration. You raised your frequency. Your mama's still down here doing what she did that used to disturb your peace. But now you're not down here anymore. You're not on this vibration. You're not on this frequency. You're way up here. What she is doing no longer bothers you. You have raised your frequency. You have raised your vibration. You see? That is what a positive attitude will do for you. So you should not, I was introduced to this word triggers. I'm 81 years old, so there was no such thing as triggers. Guns have triggers. People don't have triggers. So stop saying that somebody triggered you. Nobody can trigger you. Nobody. It is impossible for you to be triggered. Nobody can say anything to make you say something back. Nobody can do anything to make you do something back. Only you control your mouth, your vocal cords, your lips, your tongue. Only you control those. Only you control the muscles that will make you or allow you to hit somebody or something. Only you control those muscles. You see? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Janetta. Okay. So, stop saying that. Somebody triggered you. Somebody made you say something. Somebody made you do something. Stop saying that. It's impossible. Nobody controls your mouth, your tongue, your lips, all of that, except you. And nobody controls your muscles except you. So stop with the trigger stuff. Now, and not only that, if somebody can trigger you, then they have power over your emotions. They can get you upset. Don't allow anybody to do that to you. Keep your power. Don't give it to anybody else. So, and then don't give them the satisfaction. Just let people know that from now on, I'm going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. They don't even be getting upset about stuff. So that is pillar number 1. All you have to do is write the program and say it out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Mean it and put your feet on the path to do exactly that. Now, pillar number 2 is increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you increase your own level of patience. But I always start with toddlers. If you're raising toddlers, here's how easy it is to teach them patience. When that toddler asks for a cookie, tell that toddler, I'll give it to you in 5 minutes. Put yourself on the timer and give that toddler that cookie in 5 minutes. Do that several times, 5 minutes long, and still with the timer. And then stretch it to 10 minutes. It's always about being positive. Positive attitude is the key to everything. Positive attitude. So, 5 minutes. So I've rewound. So then stretch it to 10 minutes. Still on the timer. Do that several times. 15 minutes, all the way up to an hour or more. Not only will you be teaching that toddler patience, share the live, y'all. You will also be teaching that toddler here how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. You see? So now Spirit came to me and told me, Joyce, you can tell your viewers how they can teach themselves how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. So now here's what you have to do. You need a piece of paper and something to write with. So now, I'm going to give you 10 seconds while I drink this water and count to 10. Excuse me. Okay, now on that piece of paper, write down the time it is right now. Doesn't matter where your time zone is, time it is right now. And put the paper away. And at some point, a little bit later, doesn't matter how much later, you try to guess the time it is at that point, okay? Now do this several times a day. This is a fun exercise to help you to learn, to teach yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. No more looking at the clock and jumping because you didn't realize what time it was. So teach yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time with that that simple, fun exercise, okay? I do it all day long. I don't need paper and anything to write with anymore. And you won't either. And then you'll be teaching yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Come on, give me some responses. Can y'all use that exercise and how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time? Come on, give me some responses. YouTube says I got 64 people on here. Okay, come on, y'all. Good. Thank you, Janetta. Anybody else? Oh, good. Y'all can use that. Wonderful. Okay, so now, if y'all are raising toddlers, I recommend this book. I highly recommend this book. Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. I had it translated into Spanish. Madre Docena. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know the rest of it, okay? So, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. It's 48 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile, y'all. This book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. 12 ingredients. See, Mother's Dozen, that's 12. An easy recipe. Recipe says that there are ingredients. So I list 12 ingredients, and here they are right here, the 12 ingredients. And I'm going to quickly read all the ingredients to you. 1, start from infancy. 2, manners. 3, love for learning. 4, responsibility. 5, rules, order, and organization. 6, independence. 7, spirituality or a higher power. 8, affection. 9, discipline / self-control. 10, feed interests. 11, obedience. And 12, patience. That's why I cover this book. When I talk about pillar number 2, increase your own level of patience. So I cover patience in this book as well. And like I said, this book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. The foreword was written by the late Reverend Cecil L. Murray. He was the senior minister at a famed church out here in LA. We live right outside of Pasadena. And I'm just going to read you the first paragraph of what, this is his foreword. This is what he said. And the first paragraph says, Mother's Dozen is a handbook of excellence in raising children. It systematizes the rules passed from generation to generation regarding preparing children for the world to come. So, a lot of people are raising these kids. You have to remember, you are raising a human being that you are going to put out into the world. You don't want to put a spoiled brat out into the world. The job of mothers especially, fathers too, they're very important, but mothers are, so we carry them in our own bodies. So the job of parents is to raise children to stand on their own 2 feet. You don't raise kids to be dependent on you. And that is what you do when you allow them to be, when they are old enough to do for themselves what they can, you make them do for themselves. When they're old enough, So you can't have them fixing their own plates when they're 3 and 4, So don't do that. But when they're 3 and 4, they can sweep a floor. When they're 5 and 6, they can take out the trash. So have chores for your children. That teaches them responsibility. That teaches them you got to work before you can play. You see, that is what you have to do as parents. Teach them to stand on their own 2 feet. Parents bring home a newborn baby and they start rearranging their lives around the baby. No, you don't do that. The baby has to arrange its life around you, the way y'all lived y'all's lives. You don't adjust yourself for the baby. If you do, you're going to find yourself adjusting for the baby when that baby's like 20 years old too, okay? So don't do that. Don't put them in the bed with you. They have their own room, their own bed. You can have that baby monitor. That is how you teach them independence. You don't baby them because they're a baby. Babies are smart. This book, I highly recommend it. One of my viewers, her username was Cat724. She bought this book and read it. Now, I wrote it because I said it'll help to turn kids around if they're up to like 3 or 4 years old. Cat724 bought it and read it. She said it will help to turn kids around if they're like up to 7 or 8 years old. So I'll take her word for it. So that's wonderful. 7 or 8 years old. This book, if your toddler is headed down the road that you don't want that toddler to be headed down, but you're the one who did it, you got to realize that. So you got to know how to parent, y'all. So this book will give you a whole lot of very critical information. Y'all, so no, that ain't going to do that. Yeah, they'll love you a whole lot more when you make them tough. Make them stand on their own 2 feet. So now, if you're 10 years old or older, I'm going to tell you exactly how you teach yourself patience. And how you do that? Make yourself wait. You write a program that says, I am teaching myself patience. I am teaching myself how to wait. I am learning how to increase my own level of patience. You say these things out loud. It gets plastered into your psyche, y'all. Yes. So that is the way you do it. You write a program and you make yourself wait, especially if it's something that you were fiending for. Something you were fiending for and something that you normally would give yourself immediate gratification for, no way. You make yourself wait. That shows you that you are stronger than it is or was. You make yourself wait. And then you will be teaching yourself patience. You will be teaching yourself how to wait. You will be increasing your own level of patience. Yes, you raise babies with love and compassion. You most definitely do. But we have to be conditioned. What do you think these images do? These images are conditioning these kids. They are seeing images that are really, really raunchy. So we got raunchy kids, a whole lot of them, you know. So the images that kids see, and especially these 2 and 3-year-olds, y'all need to be watching the images that they see. So now, that is how you teach yourself patience. Pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is Lord have mercy. Stay calm. Okay? Pillar number 3 is stay calm. There is tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. You lose that power when you become angry. You lose that power, y'all. So don't allow anger. I never get angry. I get pissed off. Okay? And that's momentary. But I don't allow myself to get angry because it serves no useful purpose. It makes you feel bad. It makes you look bad. It makes you act bad. It makes you do all kinds of ugly things, bad things. So what purpose does it serve? So I don't bother with stuff. And I cuss like a sailor. You know what I almost said. I don't bother with stuff that serves no useful purpose. Anger is the first one. Don't get angry. Put your anger aside. Now, I did this helpful hand visual for pillar number 3, and it blew a lot of my viewers' minds. It blew Pap's mind, and it blows my mind, too. Now, I was doing pillar number 3, stay calm, and I was talking about when you are calm, this is what happens. These are your neurons. See, I had never used the word neurons before. Spirit came to me and told me to use the word neurons. So I knew I knew they were part of your brain, okay? So here is what your neurons are doing in your brain. When you are calm, they are communicating with each other, they are traveling, and they are doing their thing, okay? I was talking about in my life when you are angry. Now, Spirit gave me this helpful hand visual, the first one I just did now, and this one I'm getting ready to do now. Spirit gave me this helpful hand visual as well. When you are angry, here's what your neurons are doing. Look at this. Share the live, y'all. I still got another 10 minutes or so on here. Okay? That's what your neurons are doing. Now, Spirit came to me around between 4 and 5:15 when I was doing my live, a.m., and I was doing my live. Spirit came back to me around 7 or 8 p.m. that same night. And here's my hand, y'all. I don't know if this has ever happened to me before. Spirit came back and it gave me a command. Look up what neurons do. I said, wow, I obeyed. So I looked it up, I Googled it, and this is what Google said about neurons. Neurons work together to produce memories, make decisions, and compute information. They take chemical signals, transport them, and form new wiring within the brain. Neurons also help different parts of the brain to communicate with each other. Oh, okay. That's a good thing. Yes. So that's what your neurons are doing. So stay calm, y'all. Your neurons should be doing like this, just calmly transporting information. That's why you can't, when you get angry, this is what your neurons are doing. And that's why you cannot think straight when you're angry. That's why you can't make good decisions when you're angry. That's why you can't make good choices when you're angry. You see? So stay calm. That's where your power is, in your calmness. So stay calm, y'all. Think about what your neurons are doing when you become angry. Think about what other people's neurons are doing when they are angry. You may want to just say them if you care about them, you know. Thank you. So stay calm. Now, pillar number 4 is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, or whatever. Those 4 words are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Oh, yeah, so you need to work. We all need to work on that. It's a constant. It never stops. That's what makes life worth living, when you tune into your own life. Tune into your own level of calmness. Tune into your own level of patience. Tune into your own level of positive attitude. You see? So now back to those 4 words. This too shall pass. They will immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, or whatever. So the next time your mama is chewing you out, or the next time your daddy is chewing you out, then they cannot read your mind. Remember that, y'all. They cannot read your mind. Stand there or sit there and be getting chewed out, excuse me, and say these words in your mind. This too shall pass. She ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. Or this too shall pass. He ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. You see? This too shall pass. So, no matter what the situation is, what the scenario is, it's gonna pass. And that's where you be patient and you have a positive attitude. You see? And you stay calm. You see? So, now, if you enjoyed this live, you will absolutely love the books, nonfiction, 11 nonfiction books at goodshortbooks.com. They will inspire you, they will delight you, they will entertain you, they will motivate you, they will encourage you, all kinds of good stuff. My sister, there are 11 of them. My sister wrote 1 and I wrote 10. And this is what Spirit has done in my life, y'all. I wrote my first book in 1997. I wrote that one on purpose because I'm the oldest of 7, and I wanted to document the way that our parents raised us. They did such a wonderful job of raising us. Never any sibling rivalry in our family. I'm 81 years old. I was born in 1944. And so I wanted to document the way they raised us, and I was successful at doing that. And the book is entitled Line of Serenity. It's a memoir. It's 167 pages, which includes 22 pages of recipes and 22 pages of pictures. And I just wanted to document the way that our parents raised us. But I was telling y'all what Spirit has done. I wrote 9 other books. I had no idea I was going to write 9 other books. That was never that was not a goal of mine. What I learned, y'all, in writing these other 9 books, and 10 in total, my sister wrote 1, what I learned was Spirit had been saving these words in me. Yes, no sibling rivalry. This is the book, Line of Serenity. These are our parents. They're both gone now. Bless their hearts. So, and then these are pictures of the times we lived in. And this, y'all, is a picture of the 7 of us. This is me. I was 12 years old. I'm 81 now. This brother, he died in 2013. He had lung cancer. This is Cordell. This is Nita. She's the other author. She's 76 now, and she was 7 on this picture. This is Kenny, Reggie, and Ava. Ava was 3 on this picture. Now she's 72. And this is a sample of a plate of food that what would look like when we have a feast. And my sister's book is also a memoir. And that one is entitled My 15 Dogs, a 55-year journey of love. It's 59 pages, and it's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. Oh, thank you. $7.99. We have 3 price categories: $7.99, $9.99, and $12.99. And this one, Line of Serenity, is $12.99. And it has 22 pages of my own recipes. And Pap says that I am an incredible cook, and he says that he lives in a 5-star restaurant. So, and it's 22 pages of my own recipes in there. And I'm going to read y'all the genres. And the books are flying off the shelves, y'all, because people are coming onto my lives and they are learning about the books. Here are the genres. Memoirs, I showed you those two, the 2 memoirs that we have. Parenting, relationships, children's education, fairy tales, bullying, original quotes, health, and spirituality. Okay? So, those are the genres. And like I said, the books are flying off the shelves because people are coming onto my lives and they are learning about the books. And they make fabulous gifts. If you know anybody that's raising kids, get that parenting book for them. We have books for children as well. So now, if y'all enjoyed my live, I told you the 4 pillars. I told you how you develop and maintain a positive attitude. You write a program, and this is what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Mean it, put your feet on that path. Then pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you're 10 years old or older, I told you exactly how you increase your own level of patience. And I also told you how you teach patience to a toddler. And get this book, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. It will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. That's pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. Pillar number 3 is to stay calm. I told you, remember what your neurons are doing when you become angry. Think about this, as opposed to this is what your neurons should be doing, smoothly traveling through, okay? That's it. Now, pillar number 4, remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, frustration, all of that. The 4 words are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, y'all. I want to thank y'all for joining my live, and I close my live with this book, My Simple Quotes to Live By. I coined my first quote. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's 90 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile, y'all. I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old, and that quote states, never lose your hope and faith. I'm going to repeat it. Never lose your hope and faith. I coined this, my first quote, in 1959 at the age of 15. The occasion was my middle school graduation from Detroit's Sherrard Junior High School. 9th graders were asked to document their message to their fellow classmates, and that's what I said. I don't remember saying it, and I didn't know that I was coining a quote. But now I'm getting ready to read y'all a quote that I remember saying it, and I knew that I was coining a quote because it was for a quote contest. It was for a calendar, so they wanted 12 quotes. So I coined, thank you. I coined this quote, and I submitted it to the contest. And it won as one of 12 for the calendar out of over 5,000 entries. So now here is the quote, and I posted to social media to encourage people to chase their dreams. I'm going to be posting it to YouTube too after I get off this live, because I already posted it to Facebook and Twitter, which is now X, and TikTok. So I'm going to post it here to YouTube. But here it is. I posted to encourage people to chase their dreams. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. I'm going to repeat that. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Chase your dreams, people. Nobody can see your dream as clearly as you can, and you can't see anybody else's dream as clearly as they can. So don't allow anybody to poo-poo your dream, and don't you poo-poo anybody else's. Chase your dreams. Some cases they have more than one. So now I'm going to open up the floor. This book is 90 pages. This is what's on page 90, the end, okay? So pages 6 to 89, y'all can throw out page numbers, and I will read. I'm going to show you the way the book is. I didn't show you how it's formatted. There's 2 quotes per page, and the quotes are in all caps, separated by a black and white picture. Okay, now I'm going to y'all throw out some page numbers so y'all get a sample, a taste of what these quotes are all about. You really can live by the quotes in this book. Okay, Carly wants page 76. Okay, page 76 at the top. You are a work in progress. Create the best you. At the bottom of page 76, if you're not stupid, don't act like you are. Can y'all live by those quotes? All right, page 12 for Amina. Page 12 at the top. Strive for excellence, not perfection. At the bottom of page 12, if they serve no other purpose, unkind people show you how not to be. Okay, page 27 for the Oats Studio, page 27. At the top of page 27, education reveals, ignorance conceals. At the bottom of page 27, love is a state of heart. In love is a state of mind. Okay, now page 7 is for Kira, and this is going to be the last one. I'm going to get off of here. You'll come back tomorrow, y'all, and bring somebody else. Spread the word. Now, at the top of page 7, this is for Kira. Good human relations is the stuff from which peace is made. At the bottom of page 7, as long as you don't violate anyone else's rights or property and treat others fairly, you're doing okay. Can y'all live by those quotes? My simple quotes to live by. 90 pages. Thanks for the subscription. 90 pages, $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. If y'all enjoyed this live or got something from it, you can do a video and tag me, or you can do a post and tag me. I appreciate all the subscriptions, y'all. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I got 880 something. So, but you can do a video and tag me. You can do a post and tag me. If you've read any of the books at goodshortbooks.com, you can do a video or a post about a book review, So do something to promote and to tell people about the advice that I share. I love doing it. I'll be back tomorrow. Every live I do, I share the same 4 pillars of advice, but every live that I do is different, okay? Thank y'all for joining, and I'll be back tomorrow. Later, y'all. This made my life. Woo, girl. Do a video, Amina. Everybody, if you got something out of it, tell people what you got out of it. You don't have to sing my praises. Just tell them how you're going to use the advice that I shared with you. So I really appreciate it, y'all. Help me to pass the word, spread the word. I want to help more people to undifficult their life. That's what I want to do. Later, y'all. Thanks for joining. I'll be back tomorrow.